Hey everybody, welcome to the Sky Lounge, and this is Cruise Peruse, episode number 126, boys and girls. We are back here on Wednesday morning, and usually with the Cruise Peruses on Monday or Tuesday, or even the Sky Highs on Mondays or Tuesdays, I will go about to recap all the previous NFL weeks, giving my little take on it and shit. But I didn't do it the last 2 days because I'm not gonna lie to you. I was at the Life is Beautiful festival this weekend, and I'm still pretty tired. But we're recovering. We're back on the Cruise Peruse. So let's talk about NFL week number 3. Couple of things of note. You got a couple of 3-0 teams now. Got a couple of these 3-0 teams, but I look at a lot of these teams with a big asterisk. San Francisco. Offense, still very questionable. I think guys who really do rate, San Francisco up in that tier are probably San Francisco fans and people who need San Francisco to do well in the media. So they'll talk about San Francisco all the fucking time. But the reality is, I still think that offense is stifled. I don't think that offense is all that great. The running back depth is fantastic. And when I say offense isn't that great, I'm really straight up just talking about Jimmy GQ. Jimmy GQ hasn't looked all that great. And yeah, the weapons around him has been pretty great. They've been working out pretty well. But overall, it just doesn't feel like, he's going to lead this pack. I don't know. And they paid him so much money to do so too. And that, puts the Steelers at 0-3, which, yeah, by all means, they should be 1-2 at least, but they're not. You're 0-3, right? With a couple of teams out there. Another curious 3-0 team that I always say look out for, that's, people might think, this is, they just face easy competitions, yada, yada, yada. I still think there's a lot of good things to be said about this team. And it's the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are now 3-0, and really are the Kings of New York. I know Daniel Jones had his outing against Tampa Bay of all teams and got the win against Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. Impressive, stuff by Daniel Jones, of course. But really the story of New York should be absolutely Buffalo. Buffalo has handled themselves these 3 games with just efficiently getting shit done. Yes, close calls in a lot of these games, but they somehow come out with a win. And, obviously within that division, you have the Jets, you have the Dolphins, so those are easy tank bowl entries, so you're not really competing in that sense. But you also got the Patriots, which, my God, yeah, 3-0, not really all that surprising. And I think really this upcoming week against the Bills, they are going to have a bit of trouble, but ultimately Pats will probably go 4-0, not really all that surprising. But there's a couple of teams out there. There's a couple of teams out there where I still question them despite their record. I either say they're not good enough, or the record doesn't really reflect how pedantic they really are. And I really think the Rams, out of all the 3-0 teams, are being way too overrated. I really don't think they're all that great. Defense is really, I think, carrying this team beyond levels that we are not really noticing at this point. And it's because, yeah, of course, there's a media bias towards, Los Angeles and New York. They want those teams to do well. They need those teams to do well because media is so based around those areas. And the funny thing is, when I did my Seahawks review, I got called a homer by some fucking idiot. I'm like, no shit. It's called the Seattle Seahawks review. What the fuck? It's this whole fucking take on Seattle Seahawks, my fucking team. No shit, I'm a fucking homer. What are you, fucking retarded? Holy fucking crap. I'm calling your ass out, you dumb motherfucker. Holy shit, man. And this is the thing. I don't really get views on the videos on this channel here. But whenever I do, it's always some fucking dipshit that says something really fucking dumb. And I don't reply back, because if I start talking, it's non-stop bullshit with you fucking peasants. So I don't really reply back anymore. And yeah, of course, I'm fucking irritated that the Seahawks lost. And, my video may have come off as arrogant, but I don't really give a shit. As a fan, that's what you should be. As a fan, you should celebrate your team and be a little salty after you lose. And granted, as much as I was salty, I was trying to praise the Saints as how well they did. I was really caught off how well they did. 2-1 without Drew Brees. Come on, man. all things considered, they're doing fantastic. I'm not fucking berating that. I'm just berating the fact that the Seahawks, with the best circumstances possible at home, blew it. That's what I was fucking mad about. And so I'm going through all these comments. I'm like, oh my God, these people have nothing better to do. Like, oh my God. Especially the ones who are out there sitting on their fucking keyboard, typing their goddamn responses out like, oh, here's a fucking thesis on why the Seahawks aren't that good. Like, all right, dude, I don't really fucking care. I'm not going to read this shit. I'm really not. Surprise, surprise. I'm not going to read most of your comments. Sorry. Got better shit to do, like masturbate, smoke, watch TV, go outside, go to the gym, eat, masturbate again, come on your fucking comments. I don't know. But the NFL week was a bit odd, along with the comment sections. They were really odd. Chicago almost blew it yesterday on Monday Night Football. And yeah, the Browns blew it at home, what was it, LA? No, they blew it at home against the Rams, But there's a lot of notable games out there in week 3. And yes, like I said, I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm just not. I'm flat out not, because lots of points of interest, right? Lots of points of interest. But in my opinion, still first 3 weeks. Give it till week 5 or 6 for us to really see, all right, dude, what the fuck is the dealio? Who's where? What's what? And, early 3 weeks, you have to take into context of what these teams are winning by, or who are they winning against, how much they're winning by, and looking at the little intricate details. Like I said, a lot of 3-0 teams, they look good on paper, absolutely. But if you take a closer look at those games, a lot of them, they don't really seem like contenders. Although I will argue this, straight up. I think the Packers are contenders. Hella fucking contenders. And yeah, this is still with the fact that Aaron Rodgers isn't all that great. He hasn't been all that great this season, starting this season. Yeah, he's putting up the numbers, absolutely, but he hasn't looked all that great. The offense hasn't looked all that great, but guess what? They're killing it right now. They are absolutely killing it. Because of what? The defense. Green Bay's defense is one of the best I've seen. And I know it's only 3 weeks in, but my God, there is a lot to be positive about that 3-0 team. And yeah, I mean, we put the Patriots in that category automatically. We also put the Chiefs in there because they're the Chiefs. You got Patrick Mahomes, a cheat code. But again, with the Chiefs, more asterisks than anything else. I mean, yeah, you got Patrick Mahomes, absolute cheat code. Guy's fantastic. I still think the running game is a little bit weaker than last season, which means, of course, you can get better, absolutely. So there's room for improvements on that. Obviously, defense, secondary, and the front seven, something that Kansas can get better at, I think, as the season goes on. But again, if you're asking me who is the best balanced team that's 3-0 right now, I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's the Packers. It's the Packers. You got your elite quarterback. You got a fantastic young defense. You got a lot of young pieces on the offense too. When all of that shit clicks, and it is a fair balance, and when all that shit clicks, I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL. And, tomorrow, Philadelphia Eagles versus Green Bay Packers, that's going to be a great game. I think that's going to be a match to just come up and see. To really cement who is the pretender, who is the contender. And unfortunately, I think Philadelphia, in some aspects, especially with the defense, they are pretenders. And it's unfortunate because they lose to Detroit at home, which I really have nothing to say about that. If you're a Philly fan, you must be pissed off. Of course you are. Because this is absolutely unacceptable. You're 1-2. Like, the Eagles are 1-2 with Carson Wentz, a decent offense who's banged up, granted. But this is horrible. If you're a Philly fan, of course you're feeling it right now. But I'll tell you what, you still got Carson Wentz. You can still probably fight for a good spot in the NFC East, or probably a wild card round, because at this point the Dallas Cowboys are going to win that division. I think straight up they're going to have no problem with it. They're just going to run through. it's just going to be left up to all the other guys to gather their collective shit, go through, see what happens. But it's like how it goes, boys and girls. Usually when I do these recaps with the Sky High, I have notes, and clearly I don't. So not a lot to say at the moment, boys and girls. But we continue week 4 tomorrow. I'm going to have my Pigskin picks week 4 today. It's going to be uploaded today before I head to the preseason game of the Vegas Golden Knights, which is happening today. Again, boys and girls, free bobblehead the next 3 games. So all 4 bobbleheads will be collected a la Thanos. But yes, you're still missing 2. Whatever. Doesn't really matter, boys and girls, because sometimes life doesn't get completed. All right. Sometimes your ambitions, your dreams get shattered. And this is such a case for the Las Vegas Aces and the Los Angeles Sparks. The Sparks got swept by the Connecticut Sun 3-0. And the Aces loses the all-too-important game at home yesterday. Close margins to the Washington Mystics. And granted, the Mystics have an MVP in their squad, and she's probably going to carry them to a championship. I believe the Mystics and Sun, both teams do not have championships at all. So it's going to be interesting to see who closes out, who gets the series win. So kudos to the Connecticut Sun, kudos to the Washington Mystics, and Aces fans. Here's the thing. You're going to get there next year. Honestly, this playoff just kind of showed where Aces weren't ready. I don't think they were. I don't think the Aces were ready. I think a little too much hype and not enough substance, especially with this Washington Mystics series. I didn't really care for the kind of lackluster defense the Aces were putting up, and it's unfortunate it resulted that way, but I still see immense talent on this Aces squad, and Coach Lambier is probably going to shape these ladies up, to get into next season, to get their gears in check, and just go at it again. And of course, I wanted the Sparks versus Aces. I truly did. This is the one meetup that I absolutely would have loved, to see the Sparks and Aces go at it. LA, Las Vegas, that rivalry, city rivalry. But yeah, there you go. They lose. They fucking lose, and it's a fucking bummer. It's a fucking bummer that the Aces lost like that, in kind of a morbid way, really. But sometimes these losses have to happen. I mean, they do. They do. In essence, losses make you stronger. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, especially when you're on the losing side. But honestly, that's how it goes. Sometimes you lose, so you can learn how to lose, and from that point on, try to win and keep going. And really, with a competition that wants to keep it going, which is curious, because you have 2 great competitions in the Champions League and the Europa League in football, soccer, boys and girls. But UEFA is gonna be opening a competition in 2021. A 3rd European competition, and it's not the Europa League, it's like the Europe League or whatever. I forget the actual title, but they announced this yesterday, and I'm not sure how the seating is going to work. I'm not sure what the hell's the protocol if you win that competition. Is it like a league? What the hell is it? I don't know. So very curious to see what the hell UEFA has in plan. They probably just want to make money. That's the very cynical nature of me, because as much as I love football / soccer, okay, governing bodies of football are the most corrupt. I mean, they are the most blatantly corrupt fucking institutions I've ever seen. I mean, FIFA is at the top of its fucking, pecking order. But UEFA, they don't give you a lot of confidence with all their dealings and bribery and all this So we'll see how that 2021 series competition goes. Not really expecting a whole lot from it, to be honest. I mean, of course, unless your team stumbles, its way into that competition, and you're going to be fucking miserable. Just like how Arsenal fans with the, Europa League, we're just kind of accepting it at this point, like, all right, we're not good enough. We suck dick. All right, we've been failing miserably the last few years to get to the top 4. So it happens. All right, it absolutely happens, boys and girls. But part of the lesson of sports is, especially with the losses, especially seeing teams like Arsenal, is the fact that you can't take anything for granted. You got to just go for it, right? You got to take your chances, do what you got to do. And it's funny because I'm going to segue into the Area 51, which is, essentially people doing what they want to do. But it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. And I don't know what's sadder, the state of the internet or, of the online community, or the fact that fucking morons got up and gathered to a meetup at Area 51, which is, again, the dumbest shit. So you go around the internet, right? Online, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, wherever these memes are posted up. And these Area 51 cats, especially the dumbass who did the Naruto run, are seen as heroes. And I ask why? Why? What was the whole fucking point of that thing? Like, was there a reason for you to go there? Like, I'm genuinely asking. Were you trying to find aliens? Because that's stupid. And again, Area 51 is flat out a non-secret government a non-secret government base at this point. Like, you understand that if it is a quote-unquote secret base, the government wouldn't let you know about it. Like, what the fuck? You fucking morons. So you went there for what? Notoriety? Like, nobody knows your name. Literally 2-3 days have passed, and I don't even know any of those stupid-ass kids' names. I don't. All I remember is, oh yeah, a couple of dumbasses went to Area 51 and did nothing. Literally did nothing. And for those of you who are saying, oh, these are heroes, heroes of what? What do they do? Loiter? Loitering is a cool crime? I don't know. Like, crime's cool? Like, I don't know. It was the most embarrassing fucking thing I've seen in a long time. And we've been through Tide Pods last year. Or 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago? Oh my god. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm getting fucking irritated at all these dumbasses doing meaningless shit. Area 51 raid. You didn't raid shit. All you did was fucking meet up and take pictures like fucking morons at a goddamn meetup. Of nothing. Of accomplishing nothing. Oh my god. And it's always the internet knee-jerk community that wants to praise morons. Oh, these guys are great. There are actual fucking people doing great stuff in the world. Stop praising these fucking butt-fucking morons who didn't do shit and stood around a government facility with their dicks up their asses. What the fuck? What are you fucking praising these morons for? My god. I've actually met people who fucking protest, and I'm not a fucking guy who's all about protests. I flat out say, yeah, protest, works to an extent, but mostly ineffective, unless there is a cause, a spirit behind the protest, and a clear message. So when you see protests of old, 60s, civil rights movement, women's free right movement, children labor movement, and early turn of the century in the 20th century. There's purpose, there's reason, but most of the protests now, it's like, what are you protesting for? Oh, I see your sign, but like, what are you actually? You're just standing around, you're not doing anything. But I still give kudos. Like, all right, man, like whatever. Like, you're taking time of your day to do this shit, whatever. But yeah, do you? But I've met actual people who protested, who spend days out there genuinely believing in what they're protesting against, what they are, messaging against towards. I don't fucking know, man. But I met people like that, and they're like, oh, cool. Like, you got purpose, you got You got Desire, like that's good. But because most of these fucking morons, they don't know shit. And you know, boys and girls, I may sound like an old man, and I'll continue that point because I was at the Life is Beautiful festival this weekend. And that's right, boys and girls, I would like to blame that as the reason why I didn't post so many videos throughout the weekend. But it's just pure laziness. That's all it is. I mean, for me, it's just pure laziness. And really, the Life is Beautiful festival made me realize a couple of things. But the main thing is I'm getting old. I love these festivals. I do. I love music festivals, especially this one. I go every year, have a great time. But there was something about this year where I just thought, I don't know if I'm gonna come back next year because I was tired. I was extremely tired. There's a point of, oh man, like these kids are too young. Why am I out so late? Although the music aspect, I still enjoy live music, especially these DJs and artists that are able to orchestrate a crowd in a sense. So you see guys like Post Malone, Oliver Heldens, my personal favorite, and all these cats. It's great to watch, it's fun to watch, but physically, I'm just not as keen, shall we say, as we were 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago when I first started going. So, still had a great time. Still love the Life is Beautiful festival. I think it's one of the top things to do in September in Vegas. It really is. You go out 3 days in downtown. You listen to all these different genres of music where, yeah, a lot of people may stick to just EDM or hip hop, but you know, they have a lot of good blue, folk out there, and it's really because of that. You know, my music palette has gotten wider throughout the years, and I do love it. But again, the old man in me is like, I just want to go home and sleep. My feet are killing me. Why didn't I wear just a Dr. Scholl on my feet? It happens. The old man voice will creep out of you every once in a while. And it happens even not just in music festivals where you're goddamn tired and your back's aching and shit, but even when I'm watching sports. Like throughout week 3, I'm watching some of these games, and I've become that old man just on the fucking couch yelling at his TV screen on you know, people that will have no response no wherewithal to respond to what I'm saying, but I'm still gonna scream my head off anyways, like the fucking idiot that I am. And I you know, that's part of the sport. That's part of the old man in me right now. Oh, boys and girls, I have dragged you along, rambling all this bullshit. I'm saying, boys and girls, but this is what we do here on the Cruise Peruse, boys and girls. Talk sports ball, well, mumble sports ball mostly. Talk a lot of life bullshit and bitch and moan. I mean, tell me now if you have a better time with stupid ass fucking chicken heads at the bar doing that shit. God, dude, I drank and smoked way too fucking much this weekend. So, like, I'm still at this point of recovery, okay? The old man shit is still recovering. So, we're gonna get shit done, though. Eventually, we're gonna get the engines revved up. Raring to go. You're talking a bunch of fucking nonsense. Yeah, I know, boys and girls. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Follow me at the Sky Lounge and all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily content, boys and girls. Now fuck off.